probably wet. I gather. So cumbersome, all these wires.
It's all right.
Right over there by the other one. Thanks for setting up, Thom. Did you guys do a sound check already?
Yeah, I saw that. The next one that came out had one thing. Which is great. A while ago, I was talking about that. Power's on the back. Power's on the back.
Luckily, I looked about as normal as
You've got the
Check, check. Yes. Fabulous. What? Too hot. No. It's fine. Perfect. Wonderful. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out. My name is Stephanie. I'm your hostess this evening for the Ruta Cafe Express open mic, poetry, music, whatever you got, bring it. We're here every Tuesday from 6 to 9. There's also another one on Friday that's directed towards music. It's also from 6 to 9.
Is that happening?
Yeah, I always forget to mention it.
Ah.
I felt guilty and started mentioning it.
Okay.
Decided I would today. So I'm going to plug that.
Right.
Because I actually showed up on Friday.
People here?
There were people here, but she canceled due to fear of rain, which I understood. But I had just come over to see if Julien would watch Xavier's. Anyways, I'm going to start off the evening with a poem that Thom just gave me by Robert Frost. It's called Design. I found a dimpled spider, fat and white, on a white heel holding up a moth. Like a piece of rigid satin cloth, assorted characters of death and blight, mixed ready to begin in morning rite. Excuse me. Like the ingredients of a witch's broth, a snowdrop spider, a flower like froth, a dead wings carried like a paper kite. What had that flower to do with being white, the wayside blue and innocent all heel? What brought the kindred spider to that height, then steered the white moth thither in all night? Or in the night, excuse me. What but design of darkness to appall, if design to govern in things so small? Thank you.
Well done. Yeah.
Since round robin, so you get up as you will. please join us. Thank you.
Wings, becoming words, description replacing participation, voyeur nation, distance, anomie, alienation, existential aloneness and then a further distance, documenting emotions, diary of midnight moons, compressed, condensed into a hard drive, snail songs in a hair-lip world, transformation by degrees, green merging into brown, dog distance, snapping turtles, zoo classrooms, studying to teach. First you pin the butterfly beauty, next you label it. Thais Buddhists, Tibet demolished. To even mention language these days takes words. Swords cut texts, fire crystal night. In these days we need to learn invisibility and camouflage. To be caught across borders via uniforms. Surrender, civilians. Threatened species do not know they are threatened. Each side of a civil war. Refugees encamped, Palestinians dispossessed. To live in this age tonight requires vigilance.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's a lot of mine. Yeah. I heard my son the other day. This is too soft. Yesterday, I listened as my son sort of bellyached to his mom, my ex-wife, how he only had 3 apps on the iPhone. And he said a friend had 7. And he mentioned that the complaint from his mom, my ex-wife, was that there wasn't enough memory. Which for me was an opportune time to expound on something that I've been thinking about over the last 4 or 5 days now. I have a project which requires a great deal of computer memory, posting audio files to the web of open mics. And I found myself perturbed that I needed more space, I needed more memory. And it struck me how absurd that. Were one to take all the hard drives on the planet, stack them up end to end, compare the terabytes upon terabytes upon terabytes of so-called memory that we manage from here to there, time and time again, they would be infinitesimal to what the world can hold in the form of memory. Every rock, every leaf, every face, every moment, boundless amounts of ability to remember. How often have we picked something up and thought, I've seen this before? Playback, playback, playback. I've heard this. The world is a vast treasure trove of memory. Let not yourself get caught up in the hard drive, the endless hard drive, managing this and that. But finding the experiences you live, the ability to record everything. Thank you. I'm listening. Thank you, Thom. I knew you were. It's a little hard to check it out and see if it's too sharp.
Garcia Lorca, Granada Cemetery, 1966. Those who kill poetry hate silence. Now they have plenty. In the ossuary at Granada there are over 4,000 calm, poetic skulls whitening. The shrubs are in leaf behind the bones. If anyone tries to count spines, he can feel his own scalp start to crawl back to its birthplace. Once I gave you a small stone I respected. When I turned it over in the dawn after staying up all night, its pale depths resembled the tense face of Garcia Lorca, spitting into an empty skull. Why did he do that? Someone should know. Someone should know by now that the stone was only an amulet to keep the dead souls away. And though your long bones have nothing to do with Lorca, or those deaths 40 years ago in Spain, the trees still fill with questions in summer. He would not want tonight another elegy. He would want me to examine the marriage of wings beneath your delicate collarbones. They breathe, the ribs of your own poems breathe. And here is our dark house at the end of the lane, and here is the one light we've kept on all year, for no one, or Lorca, and now he comes towards it with the 6 bullet holes in his chest, walking lightly, so he will not disturb the sleeping neighbours, or the almonds withering in their frail arcs above us. He doesn't want to come in. He stands embarrassed under the street lamp in his rumpled suit. Lullaby, anvil of bones that terrifies the blacksmith in his sleep. Your only house is breath.
Oh, I've heard you say that so many times.
No fireball for me, honey. No.
I've heard you say that so many times.
Wake up with the goddamn hangover and the world starts spinning at your feet. You're wondering what the hell is going on.
Okay, you should be ranting that up here.
I shouldn't be ranting that up there.
Why not?
Because I have more words to put in that speech.
I was gonna rant about something else entirely.
Okay.
I am not a role model.
You are not a role model, but I love you.
If anyone has ever mistaken me for one, well, God, you know, I refuse responsibility for whatever happens as a side effect of that. Because I have said 1,000 times, do as I say and not as I do. For me, that is not hypocrisy. It's just good advice. Odds are, if I've done something, it was deliberately perverse, the direct result of bad judgment, or it was a cynical and profiteering decision. Otherwise, lately I've been really altruistic and have just been doing things for people because they ask me to, without thinking about anything beyond that. But then again, I've been really traumatized lately, so sainthood comes of violent trauma from me. When I get myself back, I don't know, part of me hopes. Well, I was thinking about this earlier on my walk back from the convenience store, or on the one up here, or one of the two. I don't remember which. I kept wondering, you know, if I found myself rich again tomorrow, would I suddenly be a domineering asshole? No, I realized I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't be any different at all, except I'd be buying more shit. I'd still be just as agreeable. I can imagine I'd still, whenever people asked, hey Julien, can you do this for me? Yes, honey, okay. Well, especially depending on how cute they are. Then there'd be no question. If they're like chicks and cute, it would, but then again, that's true now. But I would still be just as willing to help people as I was before, only I'd probably do a lot less hard work and a lot more throwing money at the problem. That's the wonderful thing about being rich. When there's a problem, you can throw money at it until it goes away. Unless you're the government, which somehow being the government makes you incapable of throwing money at a problem and making it go away. Somehow when you're the government, the money always gets misused and the problem continues. But pretty much in any other situation where the rules of nature apply, if you throw enough money at enough of the right people, then those people will solve the problem. You know, the state has more money than anything. Why does that never work? You throw more money at the schools, the kids don't get any smarter. You throw more money in the military. Well, what problem was that supposed to solve exactly? Oh, right. You throw more money at... I don't know. What do they throw more money at besides the military, really? Oh, wait, maybe that's the problem. Maybe the problem isn't that they throw money at these things and then they don't get solved, but the problem is they don't throw any money at them. They throw money at cops, and you just get more cops. More cops you have, more crime you need, more tickets you have to write to make up the rest of that money. More money you throw at the military. How is this supposed to end war yet? They don't throw a whole hell of a lot of money at education. As for the whole problem of ending poverty, they don't throw money in at that at all. Why? Because you can't make any money throwing money at that. Actually, yeah, you could, because then if you throw money at that and solve the problem, those people become, you know, more stabilized and maybe have jobs and stuff, and then, you know, they make money. Money is not a zero-sum proposition. Okay, this went off on a political rant when all I was babbling about was the fact that I don't intend to be any less of a decent human being when I'm rich again than I was beforehand. Most of the meaningful conversations that I had with strangers during the years I was rich were with random street people that I got to know downtown and would offer cigarettes and cash to just when I was walking down the street to buy something else. I didn't have too many meaningful conversations with all the snotty rich people in our building. And the other rich people I had to deal with back then made me nervous. I was nice to poor people when I was poor, then I was nice to poor people when I was rich, and I will be nice to poor people again when I'm rich again.
Not all the time.
Wealth will not make me an asshole.
Sometimes.
I promise.
Maybe.
It'll make me a bit of a cunt sometimes, darling, but that's because you are what you eat.
Texas has a poet laureate. Her name is Jan Seal. Here's a taste of Texas poet laureate material. Well, I'll give you the grandmother of the world and How to Listen, which is a salutary one at the moment. How the grandmother of the world will entertain herself. Each time they skitter, soar, float, circle, birds leave a line upon the air. Meanwhile, she's making of these a tight string ball. At the last, the grandmother of the world will stoop, open the bottom drawer, shake off thumbtacks and bread, wrapper ties, retrieve that ball. She'll rise slowly, the ages make for arthritis, and begin to unwind, rearranging the bird paths to her liking. First those that squawk, scold, screech, and quack. Next will be hoots, chirks, caws, followed by whistles, trills, and finally mere coos. Then the grandmother of this world will stand satisfied, the string in a nest at her feet, the only sound the whisper of dreaming feathers. And this is what she says, how to hear a pipe organ. Let the music fill you with quicksilver. The sound is a cocoon, you are the butterfly waiting inside. God has found voice on earth, at each new strain a small shock of pleasure. Play skillfully with a loud noise, 1,000 mosquitoes singing in chorus, sorrow drowning in a tidal wave of notes, the laughter of fingers, the tears of feet. Pipes are ventriloquists, a giant stomping out the house of melody, the sound of white silk, locomotive of the instruments. May heaven's gates open with such a sound. Jan Seal, Texas Poet Laureate.
Okay, 323 671 07.
I'm sure syntactically, grammatically, this is going to be all fouled up, but sometimes it takes a language shift to get something out the right way.
You got it, man.
Tus ojos
I don't know, man.
tienen
I'm still alive.
el cielo
I just love
en los.
get the fuck out of Austin.
la tierra que en la cuerpo. Los piedros sobre los manos. Sí, también los ojos en los. Where's the language in all this? It's right here in my arm. It floats about on the air. And the only real desire is to bring it into us. To breathe deep. To feel the power. Even as bits of our mind wander off.
It's uphill, you know.
Nuestros ojos tiene la tierra en los. Thank you.
Twin day.
It's interesting you mentioned the language shift. Sorry. Okay, so it's interesting you mentioned the language shift because Stephen King did that too in Dolores Claiborne when he wrote that book. He wrote as she spoke, and then when he would do quotations from other characters in the story, he changed the way he wrote to fit the way they spoke, which was a complete and utter like switch of left brain, right brain activity. You're like, whoa, 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 like just trying to process the entire story. So it's interesting you mention that. But anyways, I'm gonna drink. No, I'm gonna read this poem by Ben Jonson. I was looking at the word drink and said it. So, but it's called The Hourglass. Consider this small dust here in the glass, by atoms moved. Could you believe that this body was of one that loved? And its mistress flame playing like a fly was turned to cinders by her eye. Yes, and in death a life unblessed to have it expressed. Even ashes of lovers find no rest. Ooh, that was hard to read. I'm gonna read the last line again. The last 3 lines. Yes, and in death as love unblessed to have it expressed. Even ashes of lovers find no rest. Ooh, I really like that one. Thank you.
Harbinger Asylum was launched at the Austin International Poetry Festival. It has some really astonishing works in it. This is one of the best ones by Dr. Chuck Taylor. Beauty is my only goddess today. A green funnel spins open on the ceiling of the coffee shop. The green funnel is humming Mozart's Requiem, but few in this coffee shop seem to know that tune. The green funnel hovers over a Bible-reading boy in a black beard holding a red pen and sucks him up. Bye bye Bible boy, the archangels have summoned. The green funnel moves on and finds a clutch of Bible girls sitting around a table. They have sinned. Not one of them has ordered a drink at the coffee shop. They've got their gilt-edged, thin-papered Bibles, a zipper up in their black Bible covers. The green funnel is humming now Charlie Parker's Love Supreme. There's a soft sucking sound. The coffee shop has many rooms. People are busy studying or talking. I'm not sure if anyone else has seen what's happened. The lovely Bibles have been left behind, and that signifies divine purpose to me. I put them in my backpack. We're a little bit tight financially, so I'll see what I can get at half price.
That's right.
Would you eat those? Those are mushrooms. What if they glow? These are glowing in the darkness, so they glow. Okay, so I would glow with light. With the mushrooms.
Well, I've been testing these, no,
Okay.
no. You gotta look for when you pull them out from the shelf bottom. That pink, the them that will turn purple fluid. And each one is, and then all the rest of them start to fall. Drinking water. Now,
I spent the better part of 45 minutes on Saturday with a dear, dear friend, serenading a patio full of chairs. Did it matter? Not really. And I can tell you in the aftermath, it sounded great. Because it's not about your audience. It's about getting out that thing, that little piece of thorn, that little bit of feather that just needs to go someplace else. Let the wind catch it. Let it carry on. Let it carry you out of your eyesight like a balloon. When I was a young man, my high school had an event where you could buy a balloon for $1, and it had a little note in it. And then they would keep track. The note said, "Please write us when you get this note." And they would travel to Tennessee, to Oklahoma, and it was always the one who won the prize had the balloon that went the furthest away. Let that be the poet's job. To get that note back from the Philippines or Singapore or Romania that says, "I heard what you had to say and it lifted my heart." Can we ask anything more from our work but to lift someone's heart out of the doldrums of the day to a place that is really sweet and lovable, kind. Let not your dreams be tainted by tears. And I'm not one to say they don't exist, because life really can be, pardon my French, a bitch. But if you let it defeat you, you might as well go ahead and say goodbye. It's getting those burdens off your shoulder, asking for help, caring. And if the balloon just happens to drift down in your backyard or plop you on the head, by all means, write home about it.
Hey guys, if you leave this just a little loose, we can move it back and forth, and I don't have to keep unscrewing it. So just leave it as it is. You can move it. I assure you, I will keep an eye on it. But I appreciate it. Alright. So Thom gave me this. I'm sitting right there next to Mike D. That guy thought he was going to sit down. There, that's fine. Sit down. So I'm going to read this poem. Here we go, it is second. by P.W. Cummington from a book called I Did Not Go Looking for This. I just randomly picked this one out. I picked it because he wrote it in Berkeley in 2004. I was living in Berkeley in 2004, so I thought I'd read it. No, I wasn't living in Berkeley, I'm sorry. I was living in California. I rewind that. I had been to Berkeley by that time. Sorry. Pardon me. Wrong. Misspoke. But anyways. Wow, did you bring that, Dan? Wow. I'm so excited. Thanks, Dan. You're like the best ever. I don't even know what to do. I don't know. I'm going to put up the mother mic stand before I read this poem. Thanks, Dan. You got a mic too? Woo!
Oh, yeah, she does.
Okay. You are so stubborn about these chords. I think I found one that's not tangled. Yay! Perfect. Thanks, Dan. You're awesome. Check, check, check.
Yep.
Alright. So this is Berkeley poem number 8 by P.W. Covington from his book I Did Not Go Looking for This. I live in a world declared dead and a photograph taken in 1965. Where dreams and drums and a road-mapped knapsack combine in the poetry of music of being alive. I speak in a strange dialect, so rarely heard, unfathomable behind media screams, the truth obscured by the dust of the herd, and black and white fortunes from traded in dreams are clogging our senses for things in between. Yet it is not a country of corpses I see in coffee houses, bookstores, soup lines, and bars. I see tangles and briars of arches and spires built from the ashes constructed from scars. There are stars in the night burning poetry, 400-octane American schemes, casting bright shadows from soul onto soul, destroying the stalls where freedom is sold. And coast to coast they're at it tonight, in jail cells and tenements and down on Skid Row. They're charting the course we soon will all follow. Adrift no longer on shore, steady keel, ambitious, seaworthy of anchored steel. It's real. The words and rhythms that flow here today are viral and needed in truest of ways, chipping away laws written in clay. No way left to pay. Hitchhiking down a million folkways from a room in the Hobobemia YMCA. Thank you.
Yeah!
Sit up while I'm talking, Dan. You're good.
I heard the room. The moon is no longer desirable in poetry.
Don't mention the moon. I, for one, am relieved. Although I understand they mean the ordinary maudlin moon, the stone that's launched 1,000 verses, waxed full, flagrant symbol, no smoke of city lights to veil its scars. It's got nothing left to flaunt here but the way it looks at us when it thinks that we're gone from here, when it's blind to our long blue gaze as it rises in the notch between two mountains. It shows a skeletal tree invisible from where I sit. Any other time of night or day, the bent trunk and pair of curved limbs no less a dancer than a sculpted ton of bronze. A blade of light knifes the lake's black surface, and the way it aligns itself with the trail back to camp is convenient or lucky, that's all. Even though that one straight stretch across a treeless slope of quartz is like walking into the blossom of a just struck match. Everywhere crystals shoot light in flickers and shafts, and I am the pink and shimmering floor inside a jewel. So don't mention the moon tonight. Whatever you do, don't mention the moon. Don't look up either. Don't look, don't think, don't feel. Don't respond.
Go ahead.
Hello? Alright. Okay. Okay, yeah, I've never done this before. Alright. Check this out. This is one I wrote about a day I had about 5 years ago. It's called As Much. I can't walk much, for I am weak. So weak that I lean on the wall. Her love has reached me from within. It still does. Her love is hot. It feels goody. The feel-goodies. I have never felt ecstasy such as her love for me before that day. I lay there all day in one beautiful, long orgasm. There's only one hope. To pray, I love her the same.
Did you get the telephone number of the muse when she hit you? With that dream you had just then? Sleepily, the muse said to me, Thom, let's you and I just be friends. Good friends, but only friends. You understand? And she yawned. And she kissed for the last time my inner ear. Where earlier, weeping at my touch, had whispered, I loved you once, and no, I don't love him. Not after everything he said on the microphone. Later, rebuttoning her nightgown with my help, I'm sorry, she says, I just don't have any desire anymore. For you, I mean. Long silence. Then, you were always so serious. Why so serious? Long silence then, at which I smiled, darkly. And that was how I came to sleep beside, not with her, without dreams. I call her up sometimes, long distance now, and she still knows my voice, but I can hear, beyond the music of her phonograph, the laughter of the young men with their keys. I got the number of the muse written down somewhere. Wish I could find it.
Walk up there with Colorado like but basically they're making so much revenue, you know,
You got 4 to choose from.
God. This is when my backup singers need to be coming.
Yeah.
Is it loud enough? Or should I scream?
It's loud enough. How about the guy on stage? Ready for beer?
Sure. No respect. Why, thank you. This song's about Shiner beer.
How about the guy who brought the Shiner?
This is a warm Shiner beer.
Shiner
Take it back.
It's meant to be drunk warm.
Thank you. What's your name?
I didn't bring it. He brought it.
Oh, yes. Bogdan.
Bogdan.
Get your guitar, Bogdan. No time to smoke and bullshit.
That's right.
It is written in our blood and in our bones that we can fly if we try, but inscribed on the altar of our mind and in our homes that we will reap what we have sown, and so with the flow by and by, blow by blow, we'll get grown, and the walls that we stack for to seal us in our skin will break, and then all the world comes crashing in, and they say stop the leak, the boat is sinking, so they settle up the score, but the holes get more and more, and the more it leaks, the more they're thinking that the ocean where we come from is where we belong. Climb that hill and we're climbing it still until we see what lies on the other side, and it seems that in the sinking of a ship, the Titanic, oh, the consciousness will rise, and no matter who is wrong and who is right, we're here right now, in space and time. It is the tale that's so long as the skin won't be seen to let light in. Oh, the bottom it will prevail, and they'll say stop the leak, the boat is sinking, so they settle up the score, but the holes get more and more, and then another one speaks. Now they're all believing that the ocean where we come from is where we belong. Tom, you want to say anything? Take one of those mics. I think those ones might work.
William Blake had two types of poetry: songs of innocence and the songs of experience. The songs of innocence were like the little London boy who was a chimney sweep. The songs of experience were like a poison tree, where you trust people and they do you down. Both those were parts of his life, and William Blake He was a vegetarian 400 years ago. He was a nudist in London, and his wife was just a domestic that he fell in love with her because she had naive love, just complete, absolute love. No thought, just love. And William Blake, his poem is on the wall of the Full English Cafe as you come in Saturday nights. Bring me my bow of burning gold, bring me my arrows of desire. And those calls still happen, innocent or experience, to take you higher.
Thank you, Tom.
My pleasure. Thank you. Your mic is a little red there. Take the mic, babe.
This one's for Bogdan. It's the Nobel Prize winning poet Shawn died about 18 months ago. Magnificent poet, but if you look around, the remains of trees are here. This is her poem, Into the Tree. The tree, said Gudin Swedenborg, is a close relative of man. Its boughs, like arms, will join in an embrace. The trees, in truth, are our parents. We sprang from the oak, or perhaps, as the Greeks maintained, from the ash. Our lips and tongue savor the fruit of the tree. A woman's breast is called an apple or a pomegranate. We love the womb as the tree loves the dark womb of the earth. Thus, what is most desirable resides in a single tree, and wisdom tries to touch its coarse-grained bark. I learned, said the servant of the New Jerusalem, that Adam in the garden, mankind's golden age, signifies the generations after the pre-Adamites, who were unjustly scorned, though they were gentle, kind to each other, savage yet not bestial, happy in this land of fruits and spring waters. Adam, created in the image and the likeness, represents a parting of clouds covering the mind. And Eve, why is she taken from Adam's rib? Because the rib is close to the heart. That's the name of self-love, and Adam comes to know Eve, loving himself and he. Above those two, this tree, a huge shade tree, of which the Council of the Royal Mining Commission says the following in his book, De Amore Conjugal. The tree of life signifies a man who lives from God, or God living in man. And as love and wisdom, or charity and faith, or good and truth, make the life of God and man, these are signified by that tree of life, and hence the eternal life of man. But the tree of science signifies a man who believes he lives from himself and not from God. Thus that love and wisdom, charity and faith, or good and truth, are a man from himself, not from God. He believes this because he thinks and wills and speaks and acts in all likeness and appearance as from himself. Self-love offered the apple, and the golden age was over. After it, the silver age, the bronze age, and the iron. Then a child opens its eyes and sees this tree for the very first time. And people, they seem to us like walking trees. Sichwaz Milas.
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, guys.
That's us.
Members of the human species,
Yes, ma'am.
according to New Yorkers. No, I keep
Keep it loose, aha.
I keep using the wrong one. I gotta figure out how to use this. I think I'm slick. So I always have stuff in my hands, so I want this to not move. I'm not much of a sitter. I'm going to read a poem by April Bernard from her book called Swan Electric. The name of the poem is See It Does Rise. See, it does rise and will not be stalled by the dew point, how murky the aura, nor by the side of face that has been my face, where I turned on the shelf. Where does it go to? It goes to the sky, which is also the sea, salted and horse-tailed, and urging towards autumn and its talent to gel and turn all runny edges to smooth gem-cut sheen. Straight from my sun the light shoots up, through my hair ecstatic, and on to the place of ice light and sharp cider, the taste of apples pressed free, done with bark and the bees in the barrels, the clear golden blood you can pour on your tongue or the ground that has risen past care. Thank you.
Yeah, right on. Right.
You got it.
How's it going, Dan? Oh, did you have your shoes there?
Oh, new guy. Never mind, new guy.
Oh yeah, we like that.
Yay! Those new guys always sneak up on you.
Is there anything I can do to assist you?
I just need to plug this thing in.
What you need to plug this thing in? Okay.
You gonna plug in?
Yeah.
Turn on, tune in, and drop out.
Plug in.
Plug in. That's not my department.
No, that's right.
I gotta plug my guitar now.
Beyond my department.
That's
It
right.
hasn't been my department since I left Boulder.
Maybe Xavier can learn from me one day.
Yes.
He's a good roadie.
He has to be a lot of work.
Huh?
Oh, and what I always say, boys, ChristianMangle.com website. When we get on.
Start talking to you about what side.
Knowledge beyond our understanding. Oh, is it Myra?
Was it chair?
1, 2, 1, 2.
Sick.
Hello, check. 1, 2.
It's not even working. Oh, that one doesn't work.
Oh, sorry,
It's not plugged in. Just plug it in.
Alright, check 1, 2, here we go. Knowledge beyond our understanding. Layer upon layers of growth. Positioned here on these ground. Ancient ones, holy ones. Won't you speak of a time before humans' eyes themselves upon you? Giant sequoia. Giant sequoia. Giant sequoia. Giant sequoia. Speak of a time before eyes were placed on you. They gave you a name, a use and an age. They gave you a name, a use and an age. Well, speak of a time before they laid their eyes upon you. A time before they laid their eyes on you. Dominant elder, speaking your wisdom to the rooted and the ravaging. Dominant elder, speak your wisdom to the rooted and the ravaging. Whom scrape at your bark as children's tugs on a father's pant leg, letting the answers fall, spread by the fire. give him a name, a use and a name. Giant sequoia. Giant sequoia. Giant sequoia. Giant sequoia. They gave you a name, they gave you a use and an age. Giant sequoia. Spread by the fire, the medicine man has arrived to heal, to open this open ground. Rise up, raise up, giant sequoia, giant sequoia.
Save it for later. I was not at that. Step on your foot. Oh, right. Julien. That's right.
Thank you. You're awesome.
Well done. Thank you. Welcome to the Bogdan. Yes. All right. Thanks. All right.
Okay, yeah. I'm in no great rush.
You don't rush.
If I was in rush, I'd be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame right now. Public Enemy made it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, y'all. I'd say that's pretty fucking cool, yeah. It was Public Enemy that gave the Beastie Boys their first nationwide tour. No, wait, it was the other way around. There was a point I was trying to make, but then I realized I was wrong in the direction of that, so I'm sure the point, whatever it may have been, is no longer valid. And this is going to be for a mother-in-law, for a Mother's Day that wasn't. She wasn't ever a mother. I would have given her flowers anyway, so we're going to do this. When you're sitting there in your silk upholstered chair, talking to some rich folks that you know, well, I hope you won't see me in my ragged company. You know I could never be alone. Take me down, little Susie, take me down. I know you think you're the queen of the underground, and you can send me dead flowers every morning. Send me dead flowers by the mail. Send me dead flowers to my wedding, and I won't forget to put roses on your grave. When you're sitting back in your rose pink Cadillac, making bets on Kentucky Derby Day, I'll be in my basement room with a needle and a spoon and another girl to fading away. Take me down, little Susie, take me down. I know you think you're the queen of the underground. You can send me dead flowers every morning. Send me dead flowers by the mail. Send me dead flowers to my wedding. And I won't forget to put roses on your way. Take me down, little Susie, take me down. I know you think you're the queen of the underground. You can send me dead flowers every morning. Send me dead flowers by the U.S. mail. Send me dead flowers to my wedding. And I won't forget to put roses on your grave. Won't forget to put roses on your grave. I won't forget to put roses on your grave.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now you play this.
Yeah.
Two chords. C major 7. Okay? And G major 7.
When the band came to town, we bought tickets right away. There was a circus, storm of enthusiasm, moved us all up and away, away from boredom, daily work and trust that they might restore some brightness to a jaded, faded, disappointed age. We'd heard their anthems, we want to see them play. Define as ye will, when they were on stage, they commanded the play. And we want to believe some frenzy might conceive a way to elevate, levitate our spirits stuck in this prose play. Audience, we sipping at this worldly display, sound and vision combine to hide the lines upon their face as they raised as younger lives made their way to learn the ways of age. They played. Cover bands had sheet music, new chorus and refrain like this. Hungry in the hunt, they ate their elders, imbibing them in a ritual as old as time. It simply fades. One day they will play their greatest hits, recycling riffs of a younger age, hot and sweating, wanting only whatever they may take from this evening. This is the way of the muse, to eat the old, to impress the young. Every pup will take their parents on. This is the stage tonight for every generational play tonight. So come on up, open the stage, they say, and take them away. play on with the show.
Are you leaving?
I'm not playing with you, man.
Huh? You're not gonna play with me? Shit.
Okay. My beer.
Well, don't drink your beer, man. I can do it by myself. I can't play guitar by myself. Yeah, you're right. I can't do it by myself. I can't do it by myself. I do.
Nope, I do.
Hey, how come he gets to leave and I don't?
You don't get to leave either.
He wants to know what we're doing.
Okay, what you're doing is a song about the sunset
No, I want you to say that quick.
and a fire on a beach. I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. Yeah, that's good. That's good. There you go. Oh, that's different. I thought that would be it. It's been a big day. It started this morning when I dropped my hook in the line, dropped my hook in the water. I reeled that fish ashore. I brought him into my boat. And I looked at him and I thought, man, just gotta go. So I held him in my hands for a while. I stared at him. I thought, oh, you know, maybe I'm a vegetarian after all. So I'm gonna go take that fish hook out of that there sun. I wanna let it back into the deep blue sea of the night. Let it slither out into the dark. The rest of us will build a fire here on the shore. Others will wander off behind the dunes. People will spark one up. They ain't never too soon for that. And we'll have ourselves a party. Tomorrow morning may come, and that fish may look at my bait again. But tonight, I don't give a rat. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. Put your feet up, have a beer. Say, it's alright, man. It's all in the clear. So next time you're on your road, on your way to work, and you're thinking to yourself, baby, I gotta drag in another one into my ship. Don't worry about it so much, 'cause later that night you'll let it go, and it'll wander back off into the deep blue sea. You can sit back, do a couple, feel alright. It's just a big boat, and there, as a friend is pissed, said, but I said, there are a lot of us on it. Maybe more than we can carry. So dock it, pull it up, step back out onto the shore, light that fire, 'cause there's only more to come. There's only more to come. That's okay too. So long. Thanks all.
Hello, everyone. For everybody who just arrived, my name is Stephanie. I'm your hostess this evening.
Yeah, Stephanie.
Hey, that's me, thanks. I'm the hostess. I'm here every Tuesday hosting this open mic from 6 to 9. It's round robin, so you get up as you will. If you see a spot, just come on up here and utilize this mic in your own way. As long as, well, within reason, of course. So, this is your artwork behind me, huh?
Yeah. I have more. I'm trying to sell to get tobacco. So.
Okay, we have tobacco. I mean, we have tobacco. We have paintings back here for sale. He's looking for tobacco. Tobacco. He also has small ones. In an attempt to attain tobacco, this gentleman would like to sell some of these fine paintings here.
Could you mention the newsletter and or video podcast?
What?
Could you mention the newsletter and our video?
Newsletter?
The one you're doing? Poetry newsletter?
I never said anything about that. You mentioned something about the video and having a sign up and posting it on Facebook, but I don't know about
My
it.
video, I can tell them about my video.
Okay. Well, you guys maybe
Shouldn't there be a newsletter to go with that?
I don't know. Yeah. Let's not talk about it over the microphone. How about that? It's called professionalism. I'm going to read another poem. It's by April Bernard called Swan Electric. Buy a book. Book is called Swan Electric. It's by April Bernard, and the name of the poem is Hell. It's number 13, appropriately named, or numbered, I think. The tiles in the kitchen were buckled black and crazy white, and they gave an oddly soft under my knees. They gave oddly soft under my knees when I tried to scrub the bath, or scrub the tub, or bathe the dog, or when my hands down also on the tiles. I begged and begged him not to leave me as he did. Dame la mano en bueno, says the commentor to Don Giovanni. Give me your hand as a promise. And he takes him to the cavern of flame. No, shouts Giovanni as the fire answers, see. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie.
The beautiful thing about creativity, you don't have to believe a thing. A storm arose, you're smoking weeds, ashtray, dogs in the trees, Christmas lights. It's just like a circus, man. Beer, smoke, laughter, and chatter. It's like an outdoor pub. The truth is we remember and forget simultaneously all these lines, these stories, songs, these poems, these lies are beginnings. They follow silver snail trails into back gardens on Bouldin Creek, where art and life collide and speak. Eternal this clash of prose and poetic. Bird cannot afford rent for nest, nor borrowed wings for sky to sing. This tree can't afford leaves, nor family branches. Guess tree will cries, yet sprigs of green mean new trees bring fall. Cycles repeat, never the same. Holy earth, holy sky, holy water, holy fire. Look around, you look before, you look after, you tint all visions, epiphanies, with random doses of laughter. You do not need to believe anyone or anything. The evidence of your senses is so self-limiting. Everything you've seen has been seen before by someone. Every vision is unique to every individual who speaks. Your whole body, animal attentive, vision quests, are threatened species. You have your fathers, your mothers, your grandmothers, your grandfathers' eyes. Ancestors watch you tonight. Peripheral visions illuminate South Austin skies. Most of what you'll see and hear, remember, will be forgotten. Supplement your night vision, daydreamings. Bees got a compound eye, flies got a compound eye. compound eye. About time you start to look within.
Thank you, Dan.
Keep on that
Thank
D
you,
vinyl
Bogdan.
tip.
Nice.
This doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, we can hear you. No. Oh, it wants to be heard. Heard. Yeah, what?
Yes, that's better.
Yes.
Just needs a you need a coin in this thing.
Yeah, we do. That one's got one.
You've got no idea where I'm going. Nor how long I've been searching for. But I've got an inkling that you're knowing. The way things between us have grown so. Sometimes I think when we're together, I'm alone, just like an animal in a zoo. And all that is left is the weather. So keep me from never speaking to you. Fall in love is easy, easy from the start. Getting out is the hardest part. And I've tried, how I've tried to make it work with you. Oh, but giving up is much easier to do. I told you that I like a strong woman, one who can take more pain than she dishes out. So if you consider yourself a brave one, that's fine. Then why is your love sitting in this drought? It's right here. For I have pulled the plug long, long ago. Now you stare at a screen that is blank as my passion for you. So if you haven't noticed my absence, must have not noticed when I loved you. It was true, but falling in love is easy, easy from the start. Getting out is the hardest part. And I've tried, how I've tried to make it work with you. Oh, but giving up is much easier to do. different from me. In many ways I would bet. But one thing, to be specific, I hope he's cool with. I hope he likes being your safety net. And you can call me what you will at your workplace. Do whatever you need for a sympathetic ear. But it's funny, honey, for all my hesitation. Now that you and I are through, I haven't shed one single tear. But falling in love is easy, easy from the start. Getting out is the hardest part. And I've tried, how I've tried to make it work with you. Oh, but giving up is much easier. Getting out is much harder. Giving up is much easier to do.
Play it. Keep it. Wonderful, wonderful.
Poets, you ready? Come on. Yes. I know you're all poets. It's just wonderful because we're all shy and retiring people, so we let other people gamble and ramble. She's coming. It's really good. New voice. It's really good. So I just.
Hi. Hi. This is called Rotten. He stood at her window looking out to the street. "You smell," he said from across the room. "Dirty," he said. And he looked over at her, sitting on her bed with her head down. "Have you even bathed recently?" he asked, and he wrinkled his nose and he laughed. "Oh," she said, looking up. "Oh, and you," she said. "You smell rotten. You smell like rotten cigarettes and rotten gin. You smell like the rotten, rotten person that you are. I can smell your rotten heart from across the street when you come over." And he walks over to her bed, and she pushes his chest with the flat of her palm, and he just laughs louder. "Oh, and you," she says louder, and she pushes him again, but he grabs her wrist and pulls her, and she falls off the bed, and he laughs. And she grabs his ankle and yanks as hard as she can, and he falls to the floor, and she pushes, and he pushes, and she grabs, and he grabs, and they exhale deeply and loudly, and inhale loudly and deeply, and they kiss with big, panting, open mouths. "Oh," she says, "oh, you're rotten, rotten, rotten."
Right on. That's rotten.
Check, check, 1, 2.
Heel by heel we keep traveling on. All along we are holding on. Beat by beat we keep living on. All my life I keep rolling on.
Who wants to play drums? Drum, singular. It's up here.
Well, all my mother's arms. They fly away and now you're sad they're gone. You cry and you wail, but you know that it's wrong, 'cause the fire in your nails keeps a burning on. Heel by heel we keep traveling on. All day long we are holding on. Beat by beat we keep living on. All my life I keep rolling on. If death is but a doorway to the timeless one, we'll get there in time, so we need and run. Our days are one of trial and tribulation, so lighten up before your wild vacation. Heel by heel we keep traveling on. All day long we are holding on. Beat by beat we keep living on. All my life I keep rolling on. Take it, Bogdan. I've been given what I've asked for, and I'm still not done. One thing still remains under the setting sun. So heel by heel I keep a-traveling on. Some people live for riches, or will they ever learn? Some people live in fear of a hell that'll burn. For me there's only one reason, one cause and concern. It's that we all come from love, and to love we shall return. Heel by heel we keep traveling on. All day long we are rolling on. Beat by beat we keep living on. All my life I keep holding on. Come on, Thom. Heel by heel we keep traveling on. All day long we are rolling on. Beat by beat we are living on. All my life I keep rolling on. Tell us what the song's about, Thom.
This song's about the fact that we're on a journey tonight that'll never be repeated. No matter how many times in the cycle of the sun we come, we are always not repeated. Let me say that again. Those who repeat themselves like a retro program don't seem to understand that the past you cannot eat yesterday's breakfast, man. It's only now that you've got while it lasts, it has gone. Suddenly you will find that this moment in time is quite unique and precious, and you can't repeat it. It cannot be replicated. Just like a robot, we have only got this moment and each other, so we say we're on a journey today, and it's sweet enough to speak and to say. Each of us is part of the mosaic pattern of our lives, like a jigsaw pattern you see in the sky tonight. You can read the chemtrails in your very own eyes, but up there, flying on the clouds tonight. So come on, the journey of song, and come on the track of new poem, write them down and speak on microphone. You will know that you're never alone. Come on and talk it, walk it, walk it while you've got something to share. I know you've got it written on the paper right there. Yeah,
Yeah, so I've been out the loop for a minute. You know, for a couple of weeks, man. I spent the week in Wimberley.
Oh, good.
Spent the week in Georgetown.
Oh, not so good.
Actually, it was good. Cause I was scared, man. But I was first hanging out there. You know, I was scared because I was a black man in Wilson County. And I was like, man, I gotta watch what I do, watch where I go, man. Huh?
Let them watch.
Yeah, but come to find out, man, the people in Georgetown are cool as shit. Even the police.
What?
Yeah. You know? Huh? And I'd be surprised, you know. I was hanging out with this one chick, you know. I went to go get a little bacon wrap from the corner store. She was like, "What the fuck? Don't be bringing no GMOs in my damn house." I was like, "Look, bitch, I don't drink, I don't eat GMOs either." You know, and she was cool with that. I was like, "Wow, that would trip me out. The little B word was okay," and she took it and dished it. As long as, you know, the people was cool. I was able to walk around, smoke joints. Didn't nobody care because they was in their house smoking joints and playing with the dog, and, you know. And it was interesting. You know, this gonna lead to my little spill. Because I went to they got a Manhattan Pies up there in Georgetown, you know, and I was chilling, hanging out. I ordered me a build your own pie for $35.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was expensive, but you can get whatever you want on it. And it was like 30-inch, huh? They got like they have like white pieces to where they have white pieces to where it's some weird tomato sauce and olive oil, and like they do something to the wheat. It's a wheat crust, but they do something to it to make it white. And I got like chicken and chipotle sauce and like sardines and jalapenos on it. Yeah, I love sardines. Yeah. And you know, yeah, it was $35 for it, but it was a 30-inch pizza though. Yeah, it was good, but that wasn't the good part. You know, I was hanging out, you know, watching the game. Miami Heat was tearing up, but I already knew that. I already knew Miami Heat was gonna win because LeBron was in all the commercials. That's how you tell. See, a lot of people, sports games are rigged, but you can tell who gonna win by watching the commercials. You know, with every athlete that's in the most commercials, that's probably the team that's gonna win. But again, besides that, you know, it was some police officers that came in there. You know what I'm saying? And we was all chilling. It was like a whole bunch of people who was watching the game, and you know, and I told one of them, you know, don't worry about that game. Miami Heat gonna win, you know, and they came to sit at my table, you know, and it was an awkward silence, and it was an awkward silence for a minute. Then I was like, fuck it, you know, I brought up the 2 girls, 1 cup. Oh my God, all these police, oh man. Everybody, it was like 2 dudes and a chick, and it was like we had like a 2-hour conversation on 2 girls and 1 cup, and like it was like, wow. They was telling me, and this one, the police officer, white dude was 60 years old. He's like, well, man, you don't, if you like 2 girls and 1 cup, you ought to see 1 man, 1 jar. I like, yeah. I don't think so. I'm already picturing in my mind that, nah, I don't want to see that. You know? Then, hanging out for a minute, eating pizza, you know. One of the police officers invited his army friends from Fort Worth. So he came and joined the little table. So like we was 5 deep then, you know. Then there's some little college girls. They're like up there, you know. We was talking, you know. We was talking about the college girls, yada yada. And I was like, man, I bet you I could pull any one of them girls. You know, and maybe one of the police, you know. Like, nah, man. I was like, yeah, I can show y'all. But you know, my secrets don't come free. They don't come free. And you know what I'm saying? They doubt it. that was the messed up. They doubted my expertise in the matter. So one of them was like, shit, you show us what you made of, man, we'll pay for the dinner. I was like, shit, hell yeah, that's $35. I ain't got to pay for that shit. So I did. You know? And you know, I told one of some things I can't tell y'all, cause you know there's some deep magic secrets that you gotta learn. I ain't gonna spill that. But one of the things I said, I was like, hey, you know they call people in Quebec Quebecois. Blown away. And you know, I did some other things, some secrets that are supposed to be kept secret. If I could share one of those secrets with y'all. One little known secret. It's like you gotta make them think they winning. You know, when you approach somebody, no matter if it's in a relationship, no matter when you're picking up chicks, no matter if it's a business relationship, one thing you gotta remember: you always gotta appeal to their self-interest and not their generosity. Remember that, you know, cause all these lame pickup lines. Oh, baby, you fell out of heaven, so you must be an angel. All this lame ain't gonna get you nowhere. Ain't nobody winning off of that. Instead, you gotta make them think they winning. For something like, you know what? If you have sex with me, you can write a book about it and make millions and millions of dollars. You know, that works 50% of the time. You know, cause some people gonna believe you, some people ain't. But that can be carried on to all walks of life. You know, because like say you're a musician, for example. You know, a lot of musicians play for tips. You know, and you see them on stage, oh, your tips are greatly appreciated. You know, that's going to get you a couple of dollars. A few dollars here and there. But I guarantee, go on stage and say, man, your tips will keep me one step closer or staying off of welfare. And watch how many Republicans come out the woodwork just to hand you money. Yes, we don't want, yes, that's good. We don't want that cat getting no welfare, so we got to support him. I mean, no matter what, I mean, it's like, people don't understand that, you know, generosity is cool, accepting donation is cool, but you got to understand, the majority of people that you meet will not be generous. But the same majority will be willing to donate or give if they think they getting something out of it. Yep. So when you approach them, you gotta let them know what they getting out of it. You gotta get something. They gotta give them something to give out of it. Whether they getting a product, a free T-shirt, or whether they getting the satisfaction of knowing they can go home, rest to sleep at night, knowing that they help somebody out. Even if they have selfish reasons of doing it, that's cool. Because you know that, and you got to play upon that. You got to know what people like, people don't like. Conversation, you know, drunk conversations with people. You know, like it's like half of the time you hanging out with friends. When they get drunk, you gotta listen. Cause when they drunk, they tell you the truth about themselves. Oh wow. Then later on, you can be like, oh yeah, this dude. Yeah, you be like, yeah, this dude's like so-and-so, so I can use that to solicit donations from him. Yeah, and you know, and it's a crazy thing, you know, that I have learned, and I just learned this over the past week, you know, and it's crazy how you see how surprised people are, how ignorant people are. They are not gonna realize that you're not really into their self-interest, but as long as they think you are, they're gonna know, because they're selfish and they want to get something out of every deal. So I say, if you give them something, then they're more likely to go the path that you want them to go.
What'd you give them?
Huh?
What'd you give them in Georgetown?
Huh?
What'd you give them?
Basically conversation about what I said I was going to give them. You know, I mean, you know, you don't really have to give them nothing material. You just have to let them know that they the ones that came on top. If they think that they came on top of the situation, if they think they screwed you, then they're more likely to give stuff to you. But they don't have to know that they didn't really screw you. It was the other way around, but you ain't gotta let them know that. And you know, yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you, Mike. Production techniques. Yeah. Woo! Thank you. Yeah. You want music?
You want to do one of you?
Yeah, do what you want to hear. I do a drum. How about drum?
Yeah, that's good.
Like, you like,
Yes.
your money in your pocket. They work all through.
Yeah, that sounds better, yeah, exactly. I hear noises, agitation, voices meeting as one distinct and vibrating urge. Titillation makes up for the lack of real communication. I feel lonely tonight. Sometimes one should not insist. People are basically caught up in dual thinking. Above the bar, a television set. Basketball night is on the menu. Back from inside, by the pool table, a girl and a guy are about to play pool. I courteously let them go ahead, where they belong. Although the guy, since I should call him a guy, was looking for change, I hadn't noticed the change machine. His companion or eventual prospect, a girl from Panama, not Ipanema, engaged me in casual conversation, telling me she appreciated my politeness and also mentioning her studies. She was about to get a PhD when the guy came back. I mean, a PhD when the guy came back. The atmosphere shifted very quickly from pleasant to hostile. He said, "Who is the one getting all the attention right now?" in a very casual way, never looking at me, and always referring to a possible outcome involving balls, a cue and a hole, as a definitive outcome of a man's life, I guess. A couple of aging lesbians heard the message and kept on playing. It did affect no one or any of them who smiled back at me, while a couple of guys, a stocky Mexican and his counterpart, a broad-shouldered white boy dressed in a light skinhead, the guy at the pool table still caught up, ran his mouth, making ridiculous comments about the large-shouldered guy and tight shirt, which made the guy playing darts laugh nervously. I laughed too, and he responded he didn't give a damn. I commented on his awareness and how it is essential to human interaction. He burped. I looked back at the pool game. The guy played poorly and loved to give advices, always making sexual innuendos which did leave the dart players indifferent. At this point, I left the game. I had offered to play the winner, so now it was time to move on. So I took my drink and sat outside on a comfortable table next to the bar. It seems everyone here is inebriated, but I'm just making the most banal statement. What do you expect in a bar?
Yeah.
Balance, right? Do you need a penny?
Not anymore. Soaked it up.
First, like, it was mentioned about logistics sort of things. I have a website called openmicsaustin.wordpress.com, at which the shows I go to, I take video and get the audio off of them, and then I post them on the internet. So I now have an archive of all the shows I record that I've been going to since 2010. It's like 20-something shows, 50-something shows. So what's happening here tonight, in a week or so, will be on the internet for people to listen to. If anybody has a pencil or wants to write it down, it's openmics with a C, openmicsaustin.wordpress.com. As to the art, I have paintings to sell. I have about 5 cents to my name. I need an inspection sticker. I'm running on my last pinch of tobacco. So if anybody wants to trade tobacco or some cash for some art, I'd really love it. That all being said and done, now the real stuff.
Hey, tell them about the email podcast.
Oh yeah, what Trey went around and collected emails. What I will do with that is put them on my poetry mail-out list. I have a mail-out list where I send news about openmicsaustin.com, as well as I have a second one of my stuff that goes out. So all the emails that were given to me tonight will get some sort of notice within a week or so that says a new file has been posted to the archive on Open Mics Austin, which is what y'all should check. Okay? Let's talk a little bit about the mic stand. How about? The little thing that appears in most poets' minds at one time or another that appears in most musicians' minds at one time or another, or lovers, or haters, or all those things that go bump in the night. It rises up out of a field or a turf of grass, stray pebbles. Sometimes it comes on so sharp you can feel it on the back of your neck. That little gooey thing that sort of goes, where do I come from? It's been said so many times. Been heard so many times, and every time you hear it and every time you feel it, it just keeps getting better. I come from here on a windy night in the middle of Austin. I come from moments past when I used to paint. Into a cool spring night. It's the words that hum to us when we fall asleep. It's the far off sound of leaves ruffling. It's the roar of a tiger or the beating of a heart of a whale in the middle of the ocean. It's there, and it all comes washing in. The fountain was not made by the hands of man, but if you're willing, you can jump right in. It's a stage. It's not big enough. instead.
Go for it, man. There's one.
Can everybody hear me? Yay! All right. I'd like to share something with you, but I'd like to say something, a little something first. I've only got one brother, and we share the same mom, and I haven't seen him in about 7 years. And I just found out the other day that he had passed away, and it was 4 years ago. And so I'd like to dedicate this to him, but I want to use it to uplift everybody because he was a big metalhead, and he was here. He'd probably, still alive. He'd probably be making fun of me, calling me Zelda or whatever. But this is for him, and I hope y'all enjoy it.
Thank you, that's all I got.
Hey, that's one fruit. Impressive.
Sorry.
First time I've ever gotten up. Oh, well, so Carvel, hell.
Somebody really tall is up here. It's alright, I don't need to. I'll read one in a little bit, Dan. I haven't picked out an original to read yet tonight. I don't have any new ones, and I'm getting tired of reading my same old favorites. And there's certain ones I just don't read here at Ruta, so. I'm going to read this one by Robert Frost. By the way, sir who just came up here on the flute, whose name I don't remember, I'm sorry about your brother. Sorry to hear that. Michael, that's right, my cousin's middle name, who passed away. My cousin's first name, Mike. He passed away 2 years ago, and he was 33. That was his first name, Mike, and then my son's middle name is Michael as well, so. Anyways, sorry about the loss of your brother. I don't have much contact with my family either, so I understand, like, that disconnect, and then losing, like, realizing that something has been lost during that disconnect. It's very hard to deal with. This poem has nothing to do with that, unfortunately. But I'm going to read it anyways. It's called The Bear by Robert Frost. The bear puts both arms around the tree above her and draws it as if it were a lover, and its choked cherry lips to kiss goodbye, then lets it snap back upright to the sky. Her next step rocks a boulder in the wall. She's making her cross country in the fall. Her great weight creaks the barbed wire in its staples as she flings over and off down through the maples, leaving on one wire tooth and lock of hair. Such is the uncaged progress of the bear. The world has room to make the bear feel free. The universe seems cramped to you and me. Man acts more like a poor bear, like the poor bear in a cage that all day fights a nervous inward rage. His mood rejecting all his mind suggests. He paces back and forth and never rests. The toenail click and shuffle of his feet, the telescope at one end of his beat, and at the other end of the microscope, two instruments of nearly equal hope, and in conjunction quite giving a spread. Or if he rests from scientific thread, 'tis only to sit back and sway his head. Through 90-odd degrees of arc it seems, between two metaphysical extremes, he sits back on his fundamental butt, with lifted snout and eyes, if any, shut. He almost looks religious, but he's not. And back and forth he sways from cheek to cheek. And one extreme agreeing with one Greek, and the other agreeing with one Greek, which may be thought, but only so to speak. A baggy figure, equally pathetic, when sedentary and when pathetic. Thank you. I'd like to remind everybody that here every Friday there's also an open mic. It's mostly music from what I understand. It's every Friday from 6 to 9 here, so please come by. What's the host name again? Julien. What's the host name of the Friday night open mic? Ruth. Thank you, Bogdan. Ruth. Come on up, sweetheart. Kelley is her name. Come read a poem, Kelley, please. What's the feedback coming from? Some feedback coming from somewhere. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
You're fine.
Oh no, I'm fine. Not that tall. It's called B. Like the letter B. Your body was a box of bones on the bed beside me, and I lay there, letting these B words roll off my tongue, while other B words joined along like bitch, when you were particularly turned on or particularly angry, and babe and boo when you were particularly sweet, and breakfast, baths, bourbon, Barton Springs, bedtime when we were particularly we, in that way only we could be, and breast balls, bite, butt, back, and other B words uttered in moaning breaths. And we had had 7 years together, and you treated me bad for 4 of them, and I treated you bad for 2 of them, but I think we figured we'd finally made it, babe. But then some geographical distance got between us, and then some real distance got between us, and no B words were spoken because you didn't have the time or the energy, because you stumbled upon a B word you thought exclusive to you, busy. And maybe you felt the 7-year itch because you hadn't shit on me in a while, but we were back where we had started, except for I wasn't 15 anymore, and I was particularly angry, and we were not we, and you were not you, and you were not there, and so someone else said those B words to me. And then all of those B words created the one B word with just too many B's, baby. And it was yours, but you felt it could have been his, but it doesn't really matter because then I wasn't your baby, or your babe, or your boo, and we tried to make it work. But then some other B words were uttered in moaning breaths when we were particularly angry, like betrayal and breakup. And then the words stopped rolling and started flying, words that don't even need B's to sting, like I fucking hate you sometimes, and can't you just keep your fucking legs closed, and I wish you would fuck someone else too so you could stop pretending to be such a goddamn saint. So we spent one last night together, as silly ex-lovers often do, reaching for a lovely memory to remind us of all the lovely memories and cling on to them with hope. But we had run out of B words, and we had run out of each other's reach, and no matter how we clung on to each other, there was nothing lovely there, and there was no hope. And your bones and your breathing were heavy beside me, and I would have cried if I thought it would have done any good.
Good point.
Feed the crocodile dilettantes. Support the sardinosaurs. Patronize la pomme de metro. Live in bel present. Activate antelope possums. Ogle ocelots. Camouflage camel elephants. Zebra apartheid. Cautious ophthalmologist, snake simmering silences. Parisian narcissus after occupation of amateur pros. Can film ignite? Was Gatsby great? Do bird words fly better outside the box? Will you assist? Pilgrims, fairy tales, original endings, leaping penguins, polar bears, no Coca-Cola in the Arctic, no ants in the Antarctic. Yes to multiplicitous felicity du jour, yes to Dairy Moon chocolate, no to waterboarding Somali pirates, yes to underground resistances to dullness, pack an unboxed lunch, we are off. Not a cloud, just the shadows of clouds, not water, just the fish. Birds and the snake, not earth. Holes to extract and fill with our ash. Not horizon, sunrise, sunset. Not skies, stars, aircraft, spy satellites. Not lakes, drought, dust bowls, empty dams. Not roads, cracks and broken weeds. Not distance stop when you believe you cannot concede what you see as doppelganger other. Moon face of sun-kissed reflection mirror waters underneath a depth you will not believe that finds the other side. Pink Floyd. Sit years as large as cycle turn to dance, lottery, life, grasp, log odds. Come on, baby, and take the chance. Unlock the cage. Let yourself out. Take the handcuffs off. In the white heat of summer, you are cool river. I would never darken doors to open outside. It's work and dust bombs, cars inside. Your ticking time bomb art finds a way to lasso your attention, nail your moods for a start. When I knew my only father, he was mirror me, advanced scout party, prepared for war in every frontline job. His work was work, me I play more than slave, even with this altar to him today. It is altered via the distance from his leaving, grieving came as a surprise. I've been gone since long years, why tears? My sister felt the loss and wondered too, that part of him and us and you. Our origins, truncated for the next neck in time, skeleton was me and you, and I still don't know what I'm gonna do. Everywhere I go, you know, everything converges, treadmill and tours of duty for an education of poverty, gain credentials, await slavery, lightning shortcut, moon juice, eat dust weeds, sell is all you need. Somebody buys the moon like a bridge, fills motel sheets with HBO and Gideon, married to Neon's ice machine. Road is just a deal between ends, butts of smoking days, glare of unresolved tensions, guns, bus, gossip at a truck shop. In a small town, everybody knows everything. In a silent sea like this, who really cares? In South Austin, who really cares? I was struck by lightning 3 times, who really cares? Once, rushed out of the room, view, into rush job, interview, half-born confused, but you told me, you sold me, and I believed I was struck by epiphanies, awaked by a round moon's view. You stare at stars long enough, you become one. Comes the realization life is an equation. Run from the gun towards a poem. Being born is just the beginning. Nobody needs one, but we all breathe. Some sing, the sting is in the details. Fail to realize, some have value in their eyes. Can't eat gold, nor yesterday's retro breakfast. We all need to eat. Dreams make thin soup suppers. Every one of us an artist. Make your own golden. Serve gold flakes at breakfast. Shine with warmth of the sun. Today begins another lightning realization. Everybody's got one. Everyone is one.
made to absorb, to resolve non-existent problems, and turn everyone into docile and uniform entities. It is everywhere in the news, rules, to provide a detour into an unfinished landscape where a colliding, unwilling metamorphosis shapes the nature of things to come. In my dream, two words grab my attention: heart and mind. Someone, something wants me to acknowledge presence like pre-science. Back to the dream, back to the dream. It all seems so possible, mind and heart, the permanent theater, redeemable enterprise where I think, I analyze. Life passing before my very eyes, sunrise without compromises, silence suspended, while rules beat the drum of consciousness. We push and shove, caught in a line of fire, trigger-happy methodology, rules zoomed out, trivial letdowns, forget to kill the dream in me, rules bending the backbone of reality, missing the point by far out of reach, playing me more rules while I keep on running free, while I keep on running free, while I keep on running free.
Well, I bet you wanna find something to do with your loving when I'm gone. 'Cause everything you got you hold close to your heavy little load, drop it just to find, to see what grows in the wreckage in the road. Change your tone, turn your head. I'm throwing down all of my corridors. Get ready for me now, 'cause I'm ready, soft and warm, soft and warm. And I bet you wanna find something to make to take me forward to me. What you wanna say when you cut your brakes coming round the corners of my body? When you dropped your scent upon my senses, drop your card, take mine. I'm through calling off all of my growling hound. Get ready for me now, 'cause I'm ready, soft and warm, soft and warm. Drum, drumming. the same old day. Something's changed. What I once was just a page. I'm calling all of my hopes and dreams. They're just pebbles under my feet. I say hello, how are thee? Then I leave. Well, I bet you wanna find something to explain the rhythms that you roll. It's racking your brain, ain't it, just like an insane C-section to your soul. While you're running your mouth off like a powder keg in slow motion. Don't take it fast, we'll just let it flow. Get ready for me now, 'cause I'm ready, soft and warm. Save it for my little corridors. Get ready for me now, 'cause I'm ready, soft and warm, soft and warm.
Does anyone remember Ree from Ruta? Ree's this large Lebanese lady. I shouldn't say lady, she's always going to be 16 and homeless. But she's just turned 30. What do you do when you're homeless and you're 30? What do you do when you're homeless and you're 40? What do you do when you're homeless and you're 50? Well, this is what she did. She invited us all to come to the Varsity Bar last Sunday night. You weren't there, so I can tell you the story. What happened was, she called upon the love of musicians and poets who always knew that she was one of them. She made an open stage in the Varsity Bar above Austin's Pizza, man. There ain't no parking in Guadalupe, except sometimes on Sunday night. And the place was uproarious, right? We went upstairs and in our flight we were Saluting a homeless Rhiannon into a blossom and bloom. She married a wonderful man. She's got a home, and this can happen to you if you just let your life come through. You may be homeless now, but listen to what Ree says somehow. She says, I started open mic at Austin Java, man. I did poetry at Ben and Jerry's Ice Cream Man. She kept poetry happening against the odds, man. Cause no one really needs these dreams. You can't buy and sell them, man. Rhiannon is happily married. No one would believe it, but she shouldn't shine there. The top of the varsity bar became an open mic. Probably the first time and the last time of its life. The ordinary customers stuck to their pizza in fear. What's going on here? Cause they were smiling and dancing and laughing, poetic good cheer. It just shows what's happening, man. It can happen to you. You can make it through. She was homeless to the bone. She didn't have 2 cents that she could call her own. She slept on the streets on Guadalupe too, just to get through. And she's a happier woman for having been on the edge like you. So I say all power to all people who want to come through. And if you don't watch out, this happiness might just come to you. And you make your whole life an open mic, and you invite everyone right in, and they say, yeah, we'll be with you to celebrate with you when you come through today. Now, Rhiannon may not be seen much more at the open mics. She's got a job and a husband and a home. She's 30, she's changing for sure. It can happen to you when you least expect something good comes through. What happened to Rhiannon might just one day happen for you. So I say, let the light come through. We're all in the midst of change. You never know what the next stage might do. It could happen. It could happen to you. One day, happiness might sneak right through. It happened to her, and it could happen to each of you. Oh, watch out, cause you never know what happiness can do.
Mike D at last.
Actually, my new stage name is Pastor Present.
Pastor Present.
Yeah, like in Pastor Present. See, and it came about.
You got that,
yeah, I got it from Happy Jack. Yeah, and I seen it on this little refrigerator, and I asked him, man, is it okay for me to use that as my stage name? Man, that's tight. He was like, yeah, you can take anything you know what I'm saying. My mind is there for, and he said the things from his mind is there for everybody to use, man. So he's like, yeah, whatever you see up there, just go down. I was like, yeah. And I got a short one.
Okay, don't tell anyone.
But before I show them, I would like to make a plug.
Oh.
Okay, like this plug is on May 29th. there's gonna be a benefit at the Infest Club. Did y'all know where that's at? It's downtown on 6th Street somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. But you know, it's gonna be a good. It's gonna be a good benefit for some homeless organization. I forgot what it was. You get, you know, it's me. I think it's Brian and Kanaska playing, and my friend Jack Swiss, and a whole bunch of other people that I really don't know about. And it was crazy because it was like I didn't even know nothing about it, but it was like we was watching some stuff about Obama passing the CCISPA, and I like made a little quick little joke about it, and like it was at a party and everybody was nice. Everybody liked it. It wasn't like a joke. It was like just some funny little quip I made about what was going on. Some shit. No, what happened? No, we was talking about the repeal. The repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Then I made a little quip. So since they repealed Don't Ask, Don't Tell, that means that gay or straight are gonna be on all the army applications now. And like a lot of people like that. And like somebody was like, "Hey man, got a spot in the show, man. Do a little something." They got me on early. That's fucked up. But that's cool though. Yeah. And yeah. This is a little short one that I had. Yeah, cause I'm working on a. So far, I got like 30 chapters. I'm working. See, I had an idea about a month ago that I was gonna like work on this book called Sweet 16s, to where like every single poem was like 16 lines long. Wow. That shit is difficult. Yeah. Man, you and like I you know what I'm saying? I used to get mad. Oh, that poem was too short. Man, but you know how difficult it is to write something when you put yourself in that box, in the box of a formula. Oh, this shit I'm gonna make it 16 lines long. Don't you know how hard it is to say what you want to say in 16 lines? Yeah, I'm writing songs. Huh? He does songs. Hey. Yeah. So you know it. It's just hard. And so this is one of them. As the Queen and I plot to take over the world, there are many obstacles, especially that unleapable obstacle called Cosmopolitan Magazine. Oh yeah. You don't need that many ways to please your man. Just regular fucking will suffice. Okay. Whoever wrote that damn article obviously don't know shit. We don't need cold ice blowing up the ass. We don't need chocolate dripping all over us, making us a target for ants. And we can do without the dripping of the candle wax. But I like the candle wax dripping. Such a pleasantly weird feeling. And I got some, and yeah, I'm gonna get that because I got some more, about 30 more, but they all on my email. Oh. Yeah, because you know that's the only way I keep stuff. I keep stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, bring it out. See, 16 lines. It's not. It's 14 lines. And that's a strong list. Yeah, it is, man. I respect it now.
Mike D's doing the 16 lines. I got a friend who's doing the 14 lines. Every day he sends me a sonnet. He's doing a sonnet for every person in his life. This poet once says, too late to write love songs to one person. We gotta write love songs to the human race. That's us. We're not racing much, but we're alive, aren't we? Well, it's a rhetorical question. We're partially alive, aren't we? We're partially here, aren't we? Anyway, I know why the cage bird won't sing. Because the birds outside the cage, they know the wild tunes outside the chromatic spectrum. You know, the 9th, 10th, and 11th chakras, the ones I don't talk about much, but bottom line is, when you're outside the cage, you can see how small a cage really is. And all a cage does is make you smaller, like a haiku or a rhyming couplet. I could be wrong, but let's try. A lot of people, they got the keepers of the keys. They won't tell you how to be free. What they say is poetry. It's another form of linguistic captivity. Just follow the rules and conventions, and you can join all the cage ones, and you can pyramid of power, hour after hour. And there you are, Rapunzel, in your lonely tower, and all you can do is repeat the past. Repeat the past? Well, the structures won't help you. Free verse won't sell you. It was free to begin with, it'll be free when you're finished, and someone else will pick it up and change it, and morph it, and merge it, and make it marvelous and munificent, and you'll simply stare over a distance and say, wish it rhymed. Where's the iambic pentameter this time? Well, 5 beats per line. We ain't gonna be beaten down. We're outside the cage. Look where we are. Bouldin Creek surrounds. That water just keeps flowing down. Long before the written word, long before the locker book, long before people chained the Bible to a pulpit, you used to talk in conversation around a circle campfire outside the cave. Do you remember? Cave and spear, fire and ground. Well, here we are again. Nothing's changed then. They call this freedom. Free verse. Freedom.
It's all the same, she said. I don't hear it. Maybe you don't see it. Maybe I don't see it either, in you or me. Maybe I will fix it, or not. Not your life, but just a taste of it. Maybe I'll enjoy it, the eloquence in your fragrances, like your sixth sense and your willingness to experiment, to become more than a consequence, but a causality. If you could measure infinity, would you tell me how funny I sound when I act so seriously? But you already do so, without holding back, seeing beyond what we cannot escape. Angst, the root of it all, the night of the soul, that keeps a warm heart cool, the perfect mask for a fool, or simply a conscious choice when faced with a daily madness, excesses leading to sadness. But there is nothing to change, no one to subdue, no strategy to imply, but to fly, fly away, beyond normality, and laugh at all the absurdities, human oddities, craving and duties. Fly away, beyond normality, and laugh at all the absurdities, human oddities, craving and duties, reveries and remedies, self-created symphonies, self-created symphonies.
long time ago, I was at in 8th grade, I was at a roller rink. And I didn't know how to roller skate. So I sat on the side and held the bars on the side and tried to learn how to roller skate and tried to learn how to roller skate. And 9 o'clock rolled around and my dad showed up and said it's time to go. So I didn't get to roller skate like I wanted to, so I'm not going to let that chance go by tonight. I'm going to go ahead and try to play this. What do you take away from tonight?
You fucking hey, you better than beat that box.
What do you take away from a night when you know at the end of it is your pillow? Well, I know this much. In a week, we'll all hear this all over again on the internet. But that's not what really matters. What really matters is you are where you are when you're there. That you give it your best shot. Some of the coolest times in my life are when I'm laying around going, man, I don't know what the fuck to do. And I do it anyway. I think that's the point of a lot of us. Just get out there and try it. Break a few strings. And guitar picks, apparently. But don't go to sleep at night saying you didn't try. There's nothing worse, man. I spent years going to sleep at night thinking, shit, I don't want to get up tomorrow. I got to go to that same stinking job, that same stinking life, and I've changed that. I don't have a job, I don't have a life, I don't have money, but at least that's not how I wake up. It's the effort. And I know when I get to the pearly gates, that may be 10 minutes from now, that may be a second from now, that may have already happened, for all I know. I'm not going to let my ideas about what I should have been, or wanted to be, or wanted to do, I'm going to be it every second I can, every moment, and I'm glad I have people to share it with who do the same thing. And sure, I could be a better guitarist. I know that much, but it's getting better.
Fucking hall, man. God damn. As far as I'm concerned, your favorite beer I passed up right. What's wrong? I can help well, fire home my big
I can give it back.
No. I've got enough weight to carry. Thank you.
I don't even know what time it is.
It's after 9.
It's after 9?
Nah.
8:46, you got time.
It's 8:46. Alrighty. Which means we have time. We have 11 minutes left. Da da da!
That means you fuck off 14 more minutes.
As Monk, this is a quote from Monk. I'm going to quote Monk. We can fuck off another 14 more minutes. Thank you, Monk.
Well, golly, some of us people can talk. And
Well.
you heard without microphones, they're like this the whole life.
We love you, Monk.
Self communication.
True enough. True enough. All right, so thank you everybody for coming this evening. We appreciate you guys. We're here every Tuesday from 6 to 9. There's another open mic on Fridays at the same time from 6 to 9. Please come and see it. It's one of my originals. Dan screamed for one, so I found one that I don't read a whole lot. So, the mirror casts my reflection upon my eyes. Of my own soul screaming in agony, I feel an explosion of sadness rock my core. My eyes begin to tear, my mind forcing them to stop. But sometimes I look in the mirror and I catch that look. I can only suppress the screaming soul for so long, for my broken heart reminds me why my soul is screaming, always lingering behind my eyes, never to be quelled. Thank you. Somebody has a sweatshirt up here. Don't forget it.
Oh! Jesus fucking
Oh,
Christ.
battery stuck, dude.
Right! Yeah! Get that up to 7. Okay. Mainly because you say
I couldn't catch him, but I caught the mic anyway.
trying to get your fucker's attention.
This one does, right? Don't they all? Testing, testing. That's what she said. I am amplified, yes, I can tell from behind it. Something. Watch Game of Thrones on HBO. Fuck you, read the books. Read the books, read the books, read the books, read the books, read the books. Okay, I'm gonna do this now, I think. I believe, unless a comment hits us, there we go. We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to me when you don't believe a word I say? With suspicious minds, and we can build our dreams on suspicious minds. So if an old friend I know come by to say hello, would I still see suspicion in your eyes? There we go again, asking where I've been. But you don't see these tears are real. mind. Let our love survive. Wipe those tears from your eyes. Don't let a good thing die. 'Cause you know I never lied to you. Oh, yeah. We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to me? When you don't believe a word I say, don't you know you're caught in a trap? I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Don't you know we're caught in a trap? I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. We caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Caught in the trap. Because I love you too much, baby.
Alright guys, we have some last minuters that are they're gonna come up here in just a minute. It's Mike and Arminta. I don't know if you guys know them, but they're gonna come up here and play in just a minute. So I don't mean to steal the stage, but I'm just kind of prolonging for them because I can't see them. I think they went to go get their equipment. So anyways, step up if you must. Please, Scott, I think you were going to come up. Go ahead. Okay, well, alrighty then. I'm going to read a poem. This is my interim music. You like it? Isn't it good? Alright, here we go. No, I don't want to read this one. I already read these. Damn it, I need to write more. I was painting, what can I say? And I've been painting and I've been working on my short story about my crazy neighbor. I've been doing reconnaissance on my crazy neighbor who sings to his birds. I can hear him through the wall of my bathroom, so I always listen really carefully. I'm like, what is he doing? What crazy things is he doing now? The guy's really weird. I don't get it. And like, I met his family, and I'm like, family, do you know this guy's weird? Because they don't live with him, right? He's got like a little grandson, and like, you know, children and stuff. And I'm like, do you know, like, he sings with birds and like says, he's just a weirdo. He does all kinds of strange things. No, it's a different kind of weird. Like, like the Son of Sam, like, I talk to dogs, that kind of thing, you know? The dog told me to do it. No, dude, dog didn't tell you to do shit. Dogs don't speak in English. They speak in dog. And it's like, row, row, row. Sounds like that.
Hello there, dear sir.
So Xavier, Antonia, and I were in the creek earlier, in the crick, as you Texans say. And Xavier's like, hey mom, I don't see the water moccasins. And I'm like, son, they're not just gonna like pop up and say hi to us. You know, they're not really like, hey, what's up, guys? He's like, you mean in a British accent, mom? I was like, oh yes, hello. Like, wait, was it like a mouthful of hello? Would you like some tea? Like with a mouthful of marbles and hello? Anyways, just inside joke. Made the kid laugh. That's all it's worth it. All right, here we go. You ready? Is it a where? They're not here yet. I don't see them. Okay. Is it a plight for some poets to have a heart wide enough and a passion that burns hot enough that they cannot love just but one person? Romantic poems are dead, it seems, but it's been the main focus of my writing since I was young. And as I rewind my fingers to the journal pages of time, I swear I have loved them all. I swear each one I have burned red ink as I wrote of the love I have felt for them. Even if it was just for a brief moment in history that I spoke of a now forgotten passion. You may prefer the words of those who speak politics or speak of relations not of the heart, but that means nothing to me. Not to me. I speak from my heart, a precious organ modern time poets sometimes leave neglected, left alone in the recesses of a soul. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark, and we'll be up here in a minute. Mike.
Sure.
Can't wait. You gotta be quick. This is for Julien, believe it or not. Julien, you did Suspicious Minds for Elvis, with Elvis, okay? Well, the other night I went with Elvis YouTube. Let me explain. There's a series on YouTube, The Last 24 Hours of Elvis Presley. Now, I grew up really young, Elvis, Blue Hawaii, Speedway, Jailhouse Rock, and GI Blues. And I always never understood the Cherokee and the truck driver in him, but I like the fact that he never wrote anything. He never wrote a fucking song. That's why I really like the Beatles. But I watched the last 24 hours of Elvis Presley, and the sadness was, just like Willie Nelson, he had a troupe of musicians he had to keep feeding, he had to go on tour. And his manager, Colonel Parker, took 50% of his salary. And his manager was a gambler who lost up to $1 million in one night, often, of Elvis's money. And his manager said, there's only one thing you need to know, that guy has got to be on stage tonight, living or dead. And that was the night he died. Well, you know how it is with YouTube. You go in there for 24 hours of Elvis, and then I saw the last 24 hours of Jimi Hendrix. Now, I really like Jimi Hendrix. I bought every record he ever had. When he died, I burned them all, threw them away. There's no good dying, it sucks. Bottom line was, Jimmy was murdered. I never knew that. His manager was a member of the Mafia and really wanted Jimmy to keep playing the old hits. And Jimmy wanted to jam. He wanted to jam with jazz people. He wanted to be free. He wanted sessions. He had the band of gypsies. But all his royalties were going to creepy manager and a lawsuit he lost. He signed his rights away, way back in Seattle days. Well, that was all right, because I learned they kill the good, because they killed Brian Jones in that swimming pool in the 60s too. And then I watched the last 24 hours of Jim Morrison. Now, Jim had syphilis. That was one cause of his demise. But in that bath in Paris, a lot of sneaky things happen. And we just don't realize how the good light gets extinguished in this planet of shadows. They say there's a lot of nescience. If you are bright as Kennedy, or bright as Hendrix, or bright as even little Elvis, you're gonna die, son. Because if you don't do what the corporation wants, and the mafia wants, and your manager wants. Do you remember that soul singer in London who did Back in Black? Amy, whatever. Yeah. There's a video of her drunk out of a scone in Germany near the end of her days, and the manager says, get out there and earn the money, you're getting paid for this. She said, I can't do this anymore. Get out and do it. Luckily, we are volunteers of spirit, and no one can control us. We are art unleashed, and no one can enfold us. We are the gypsies outside the camps, outside the lines they drew for us. No bird sings in a cage. We're glad for all of us. See you next Tuesday.
Brian Jones died in Winnie the Pooh's swimming pool.
Yep.
Yeah, the author of A.A. Milne. The author of Winnie the Pooh. A.A. Milne. Brian Jones bought his house in the late 60s and died in his swimming pool. Now, whether Brian got pushed in or whether Brian was wasted and fell in, Brian was an undiagnosed epileptic asshole. Brian Jones was not a nice man. Well, Brian Jones could pick up any instrument at all and learn to play it in a matter of minutes, then play it on a Stones song and never play it again. He did that a lot. But he was an asshole. Elvis Presley never wrote a song. So all those gentlemen who did deserve more credit. I don't love Suspicious Minds, for instance, because it was an Elvis song. I love it because it's the song it is, and someone wrote it. And I wish I remembered that man's name. Elvis died on a toilet full of pharmaceutical drugs. Jimi Hendrix, they say he choked to death on his own puke. They say the same about John Bonham, and they say the same about Bon Scott. Kurt Cobain deliberately took a shotgun blast into his head for some fucking reason. And yet John Lennon was murdered. John meant to live. What does he not have in common with all them other men? Well, one night in 1967, well, she died young too the same way. John didn't, and that's my fucking point, man. Anyway, in 1967, the first worldwide satellite broadcast ever, period, anywhere, was happening out of London. And John Lennon was told the Beatles were going to be on it. And they kind of hoped John would write a song specific to the moment, to the purpose, to the cause. And John Lennon asked himself, like, okay, this is going to be the first time in human history anybody has ever been seen simultaneously worldwide. What do I want to say to them? And that night he wrote, All You Need Is Love. And its first broadcast was the first worldwide satellite broadcast in the whole fucking world. That's what John decided he wanted to say to everybody. Now all the others die of their own indulgences. That's the man that gets a bullet. What does this tell us?
Alrighty, guys. It's time to wrap up shop. I guess Mike and Armenta left. Hopefully they come back next time a little earlier and play. Thank you everybody for performed on stage. Thank you everybody for coming. You guys are all wonderfully awesome. Thanks Dan for backing me up here at the end. And thanks for the mic stand, Dan. Ooh, it rhymes. I'm such a poet. Such a poet. Stand Dan. It's like the last letters of your name are backwards in stand. D-A-N. Ha ha ha. It's like backwards for you. Almost not quite. Alright.